What is going on, UGG fam? I'm your girl Kee Kee Soto and welcome back to Urban Girl Gardening. Today on my list of garden chores to get done, I am going to be digging up my Caladium bulbs and storing them for the winter. And then planting some of my spring bulbs. I am gardening in upstate New York, Zone 5B, where the winters are winter, honey. It is cold, it is freezing, it is snowing, so I need to make sure that all my ducks, all my garden ducks, or should I say chickens? I need to make sure that everything is on point, okay? But first, I want to say a big thank you to all of my new subscribers, a big thank you to all of my seasoned subscribers. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for continuously coming back and supporting, liking, for sharing my content, for leaving your comments, and I love conversing and getting to know you guys. Thank you guys so much for all of that, and if you have not done so yet, please go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know that you're here. All right, let's get into this video. First thing I'm going to do is show you guys my Caladium. I do not remember off the top of my head what variety this is. I think I have about 5 or 6. This spring I planted 10. This spring I planted 10 Caladium bulbs and only 8 of them came up. Okay, so I have 4 in pots here. I have 1 that even came up in the green stalk. I planted 5 in the back fence garden back there and only 3 came up in the back. So I'm gonna have to go and dig those up as well, but for now we're dealing with pots. Now this pot is full of chamomile seedlings, so I'm actually gonna pull some of these out because I might actually want to replant some of these. I don't know. Look at that. So I went ahead and I pulled these off, and these will actually, the ones that are good, these will actually last a pretty good while in a vase, but these are a little worse for the wear. So our nights here in New York have been down in the 40s, and the reason why I'm pulling these up, even though it's supposed to warm back up next week, the reason why I'm pulling these up now is because it's actually going to be raining, and I don't want to be digging up wet bulbs. I want to plant them again in the ooh, those roots are deep. Let me show you guys. See how far down my hand is? The roots are deep. And here are my bulbs. I'm just gonna make sure, because I think they're multiplying under here. So yeah, there's another one. Actually, there's a few. So I didn't really like all that digging, especially in a pot. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to go ahead and pull these off again, or cut them. Again, look at this. This will make a beautiful bouquet, which it is. I'm going to dump this on this container, and then I'm going to go ahead and get the bulbs out of here that way. So let's just turn this over. Lots of beautiful roots. Beautiful soil. And wow, lots of roots in here. Even these small pieces have roots. Look at this, guys. I'm gonna do this very carefully. All right, I'm gonna continue popping these out, and I'm gonna continue doing it this way because I like this better. And then I'll be back. The key to these is leaving them out somewhere warm, not cold, because the whole point of me taking them out from outside and storing them is because they won't survive a winter. So they need to be somewhere warm and dry. As long as they're like room temperature, they'll be fine. They're here on a paper towel. I'm going to let them dry before I continue to take the roots off. I'm going to leave these to dry for a while, and of course I'll bring you guys an update. And then that's all the foliage there. I'm going to pick out what's good and put some in a nice vase. Okay, so now let's plant our new bulbs. Okay, so first of all, we're outside. I want to apologize for any noise, guys. Urban Girl Gardening, keep telling y'all we in Urbania. It's just the way it is. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to plant our fall bulbs that we're planting for the spring. Now, I purchased these bulbs through the Vegetable Project fundraiser, which I've been talking to you guys about. The Vegetable Project is an organization put together by members of the community that helps support gardening in our local schools. So, I mean, you know I had to be a part of it. The fundraiser is going on until October 15th, and these bulbs I'm very excited about. So I got some hyacinths here. I got some Glory of the Snow. Those are pretty small. I got some mountain lilies. And I got some Purple Sensation alliums. And I gotta tell you, I've already been back on the site and I put together my next shopping cart because I'm gonna be obsessed. I'm going to be obsessed. And this is a great cause, helping our school district. The prices are fantastic, first of all. And we want our children to be involved in growing, and this is part of the way to do it. Keep those organizations running. So if you have not purchased your fall spring bulbs yet, go ahead and click the link in the description box and help out the Vegetable Project. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to be doing some lasagna planting, and what that is layering each of the bulbs, as many as you want depending on how big your pot is. This is the size that I am using. I'm only going to do 3 layers. So the ones that'll take the longest to come up are the hyacinths, and actually these alliums might be even later. I think they'll come up like the end of spring, beginning of summer, and then the hyacinths, and then the mountain lilies, and then the Glory of Snow will peek out even when there's still snow out. So that'll be cool. So you put the ones that come up first on the top, second, and the ones that come up later, and then the ones that come up last, you put them on the bottom. So let's do a lasagna bulb container planting. Yes, I'm planting my bulbs in containers. If you're renting and you want flowers, you want to purchase bulbs, but you're not sure if you can have all that beauty, put them in containers. Put them in containers. All of my flowers are in containers and grow bags, and they are doing magnificent, and it's brought so much beauty to my garden. So this is my container. It's pretty large. I'm not sure the exact dimensions because someone was throwing this away and I said no, I'm taking it. In the middle here I have one of those compostable pots, and that is because I just want to save some room on soil, and that'll break down eventually. So I'm actually just going to take the soil that we just took out of the Caladium pots. We're going to fill this up right until the spot where that pot stops, and that's where we're going to put our first set of bulbs. So what's really cool about these bags of bulbs is that they have all of the information that you need. It has the height that the plant gets, how much spacing the bulbs need, if it needs full sun or part sun, if it's a cut flower, the hardiness zones, and if it's deer resistant. And it actually has the planting instructions there. And I am going to start with the alliums. So I have 5 bulbs here. And this is the root, so of course I'm going to plant them root down. And you want to plant your bulbs anytime from mid-September to about November, before the ground freezes, because it's like when you plant your garlic in the fall, you want your bulbs to have enough time to actually root. I'm going to cover these up. And I'm gonna go up another third of the way. So now we are going to do the hyacinths. And I'm actually only gonna put 2 in here. You want the pointed side up. The bottom is where the roots are gonna come out of. So that's gonna be that for the hyacinths. Then I'm gonna cover that up. And what's really cool is with the hyacinths, I don't know what color they're gonna be. So that is extremely exciting. Oh, we're down to my compost, which is good. So now we're gonna have even more nutrients in here. This is the compost now that you guys saw me and Jeremy dig up and put into containers in the last video. So next I'm going to plant these Glory of Snow, and these will be coming up first. These are deer resistant and they are hardy through zones 3 to 9. Plant bulbs 3 to 4 inches deep and 2 to 3 inches apart in informal clumps of at least 5. Okay, so I know that the hyacinths are here. I'm gonna take these pointed side up, and on the bottom there's gonna be where the roots will come out. And the package said 2 to 3 inches apart in clumps of 5. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm going to cover this up, and our lasagna container garden is done. So we've got our lasagna container planted, and for these 2 containers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 hyacinth bulb each in the center, and then I have 10 mountain lily bulbs here, so I'm going to put 5 on the next layer. So I guess like another, yeah, I guess we're doing another lasagna container. The last thing to do now is to water these guys in, and you want to water them in just enough to moisten the soil. And I know it doesn't look like I put any nutrients in here, but again, I'm using my fresh compost, which is nutrient rich. And in this container I have my liquid seaweed fertilizer. You guys know I use this to stimulate roots of bulbs, garlic, turmeric, stuff like that. And you'll see it again real soon in my garlic planting video because it's almost that time. Alright, we are planted. My caladiums will be drying. One important thing to remember, guys, when you're planting your bulbs, whether they're in containers or in the ground, you want to make sure that your soil is well draining so that your bulbs do not rot before they even get a chance to root. Okay, so you want to water them lightly. And for me, next week we'll have a lot of rain, so these guys will probably be on my porch away from the rain, and I'll water them like once a week. But other than that, that is it. Just make sure everything's well draining, whether it's in the container or in a raised bed or wherever, just make sure that they don't get soaking wet for a prolonged period of time. I want to say thank you again to the Vegetable Project for these amazing bulbs. I'm so excited to watch them bloom in the springtime, and thank you all again for subscribing. Thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing, because I know you're going to. And also, if you would like to follow me on other social media, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I have a Facebook group. Urban Girl Gardening is the handle on all 3. My schedule here on YouTube is Mondays and Fridays, so in between, if you miss me, come see me other places. All right, thank you guys so much for being here. Learn with me, grow with me. I love y'all for real. Bye.